So this was the news. Midway through the game, there's a report, was it on NBC? That, or I guess it was during the game, on the telecast. Brock Purdy, his toe injury is so bad that if he moves it the wrong direction or tweaks it just the littlest bit, it goes back to square one, and it's really debilitating. So what he said, Brock, is that he's truly day to day, which means he has no idea how it's going to feel tomorrow, and that there's no timetable for his return. And if Mac Jones weren't playing so well, this would be a scandal. I mean, this is like the Christian McCaffrey thing from last year, but worse. With Christian, he had the Achilles thing, and they made it seem like he'd be back at any moment, like he might even play week 1. And then it turned out to be an 8-week injury that he never fully recovered from last year. With Brock, it was originally a 2 to 5 week injury. They brought him back after 2 weeks on the aggressive side. He re-injures it. And you're thinking, all right, he'll come back in 3 weeks this time. But if he doesn't, I mean, not only did we not fully understand how severe this is, it's not the first time that the Niners have somehow not conveyed to people how severe an injury is to one of their top players, but they're culpable. This guy could miss the whole season. He could be in the same boat as Joe Burrow. It's just that the Niners haven't said anything. So I don't know. All we know is he hasn't had surgery yet. He did practice last week. Maybe he'll heroically play against the Texans next week. But if he truly has no timetable, if he truly feels like any false step will set him back, then he can't play until he's 100%. Truly 100%. And when's that going to be? Will he ever be 100% again this season? I don't know. So I think if we're talking about quarterback controversy, that's way down the line, because Mac's the starting quarterback on this team. There's no controversy. It's Mac's team. Just like it's Tatum Bethune's defense. Brock is freaking history. He may come back next week, next month, next season. Don't know. Until then, he's an afterthought. Brock Purdy's an afterthought. I'm sorry, it's Mac Jones' team right now. And after the game, there's a lot of questions about Mac Jones. His numbers weren't that great. What were his numbers? 152 yards, interception, and a 64 quarterback rating. Not great. But you saw what this defense did to Josh Allen last week. It was never going to be that kind of a game for the Niners where he's going to light him up for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. It was going to look like this. And after the game, from Christian McCaffrey to George Kittle to Kyle Shanahan, when asked about Mac, they were like, he's a really good quarterback, and we would not be in this position without him. I thought that was interesting. It felt like, again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Brock's coming back next week, but it felt like this report out indefinitely felt like the players knew. And while the team didn't want to say anything, now that Mac Jones has won another game and beat another potential playoff team, they can say, you know what? Yeah, it's true. Brock's going to be out a while. And you know what? So is Fred. And you know what? So is Bosa. And you know what? That's okay. Because we have replacements. Our backup quarterback, turns out, he's a starting quarterback and a good one. Same with our backup middle linebacker. Same with our second edge rusher. So I feel bad for Brock. And I can only imagine how Brock feels. I mean, can we go back to that week 4 moment again? Jaguars, they were undefeated. On Thursday, Brock spoke to the media and did not say that he was going to play in the game. He said he really would like to be himself before he went back on the field. The next day, Kyle said he's playing and not on the game status report. No, not questionable. He's playing. And they made it worse. If I were Brock Purdy, I'd be upset. Hey, man, I was trying to be a good player. You're supposed to protect me. You didn't. And now you're creating a quarterback controversy with this guy? I don't think Kyle meant to create a quarterback controversy, but he just happened to. And one thing that Mac has going for him that Brock doesn't is durability. You know, a lot of people will talk about the difference between these two guys. Well, Brock's so much more mobile. So when they're both healthy, that means that Brock is a better quarterback than Mac because he doesn't have that element to his game. And that's true. But the implication with mobility is that like it keeps you healthy, right? It gets you away from trouble. It helps you escape. But all I know is Brock's missed 7 of the Niners' last 14 games with his mobility. Meanwhile, Mac has missed 2 games due to injury in his entire career. So maybe, just maybe, holding the ball a long time and running around a lot isn't always the key to durability and longevity in the NFL. Maybe doing that actually puts your career in jeopardy. And, you know, I think one thing that Mac is trying to prove or show is that he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. And to be a starting quarterback in the NFL, you can't just play well for a week or 3, get injured, and leave. You know what? You know who does that? High-level backups. And when he won his first 3 starts, beat the Rams, and then lost to the Bucks, it's possible you're just a high-level backup in the right system. You haven't proven it yet that you're a starter. But he bounces back. He's still not 100%. He finds another way to win. He doesn't cost the Niners the game. He's not an elite quarterback, but he's good. And he's not missing games. PrizePicks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, C-O-H-N, and download the app now. He's showing the Niners and the league, look, if you make me your starting quarterback, I'll be there. I'll be in the field every play. It doesn't matter if I'm limping around, if I don't feel quite myself, if I'm not quite Mac Jones today. If you're speaking in the third person, which I've never heard him do, I'll be out there and we can win. We can win when I'm not 100% healthy. And I'll play when I'm not 100% healthy. With Brock, can you win when he's not 100% healthy? Maybe. Sometimes. They beat the Seahawks when he was limping around. He wasn't really limping. They beat the Seahawks, but then they lost to the Jaguars, who got their freaking asses kicked today by the Rams. Does that mean that Mac Jones would have beat the Jaguars? I will never know. But I find it interesting that Mac is making, what am I trying to say? I find it interesting that Mac needs to show people that he could show up every week and that Brock can't do that or hasn't done that for a while. 7 of the last 14 games he's missed. Mac's never had a stretch like that in his career. And again, like, I grew up in the 90s. I grew up watching Brett Favre. That guy never missed, ever, starts. Tom Brady, like, these guys, real starting quarterbacks are supposed to be Iron Men. And I'm not saying that Brock isn't tough, because he is. He's just small and maybe fragile. He's gotten injured in the pocket. He's gotten injured outside the pocket. And every year, he holds the ball longer. He wants to be Josh Allen. Mac Jones doesn't want to be Mac Jones knows who the hell he is. Sometimes I don't think Brock knows who he is. And I think Mac Jones, deep down, self-knowledge, is keeping him upright. I mean, did he play well in this game? He was okay. His numbers weren't great. He won. Did he play well last week against the Bucks? It's okay. He made some throws. No one would watch Mac the last 2 weeks and be like, man, that dude is elite. Give him $100 million. But for $4 million? I mean, he's super underpaid. So the season isn't over, even if it is for Brock Purdy. And we don't know. But the word during the game is that he's out indefinitely. And again, if Mac Jones were bad, or if he weren't on this team and the backup were Josh Dobbs, the season would be over and Kyle Shanahan's job might be as well. Instead, they're 5-2. Kyle's doing the best job of his career, is in the running for coach of the year. And who knows, maybe he and Mac Jones will get Mondo extensions in the offseason. All right. That's how I feel. Bill Kennedy says, do you know Mac the Knife B7 Bobby Darin? Do you know Mac the Knife B7 Bobby Darin? No, I don't. But I know Bobby Darin. Didn't he die in a plane crash? 7NP says, if Brock never played another snap for the Niners, I wouldn't mind. If they keep playing like this, fans are too emotionally invested in certain players. It's about wins, not feelings. That is true. Niner for Life says, my mom said, Iggy, you're awesome. Love the way you sang Return to the Mac. Please give Mac Jones some props and Eddie De Niro. Okay, I'll get to Eddie in a minute. Hey, Grant, how do you get hat hair with no hat? Fuck. That was fair. I'll take that. Shimel Dio says, Matt Hennessy, stay at center, please. Brendel sucks. 7 Dennis 123 says, number 5 has too many key drops. Is he even worth mentioning? I guess I should mention him. Demarcus Robinson. Here's what I have to say about Demarcus Robinson. What the fuck? And my follow-up is, are you fucking kidding? Those are my 2 questions for DeMarcus. What the fuck? And are you kidding? I mean, Mac Jones has put some passes like right on his hands. They've gone through both of his hands multiple times. What's going on here? He was here all of training camp, missed 3 weeks of the season, and now he can't catch up football anymore? Damn. So maybe stop throwing to him. Aru Illustri says, funnest, most refreshing Niner season in years. Love seeing hungry young players rise instead of jaded vets. I completely agree. There was something so jaded about last year's team. Last year's team was depressing. The whole season was depressing. My hair is fucked up. The whole season was depressing. From the beginning, from training camp, from the Ayuk drama and all that crap, to Christian McCaffrey being injured, to Ricky Pearsall getting shot, to the various other tragedies. It was an awful, awful season, and the team seemed miserable, and Devondre Campbell blew up. This year, it seems like they're really having fun, which is like, they're professional athletes. Who gives a shit if they're having fun? It kind of matters, especially when they looked so morose last year. Kittle's having, and isn't Mac Jones a big part of that? Why would Mac Jones be depressed, morose? He didn't lose the Super Bowl. He wasn't on this team last year. He's been on really bad team. This is the best team he's ever been on. He's in a great mood. This is the best year of his freaking professional career. And I think his ebullience is rubbing off. Is that the right word? Sean Shepard says, Grant, Juice, just run to say the other coach, your Juice. Jarun sussed to say the other coach, your poop. I almost understood what you were talking about there, Sean. I love you, though. Paul Newland says, $50. Thanks, Paul. Most impressed I've been with Kyle in a single season. One complaint was the Juice play. As soon as my family and I saw they gave it to him, we all knew the outcome. Keep it up, Grant. Big fan. See you on Chabot one of these days. Yeah. Come catch me at Chabot, baby. Or Monarch. I like playing the Monarch 9, man. That's the best 9-hole course in the Bay. It's $15 during the week to play a really nice 9-hole with a couple of par 4s. And there's one where you can actually use your driver and a couple where you can use your hybrid. And that's a nice 9-hole. I'm just saying. Nicholas, it's in San Leandro over by Metro. Nicholas V says, Juwan is garbage. Do you think he gets traded? Also, D-Rob should be cut. Give Watkins his reps. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Juwan. He's clearly not healthy. Ricky's going to come back. Hey, did you notice like Fred Warner all over the freaking, like in the booth, put on the Jumbotron, in the locker room afterward? Why don't they make a big deal about Brandon Ayuk? He's here. He's in a booth. He's watching the game. Like, shouldn't the Niners be like, Brandon's almost back? And wait. It just feels like they don't want him here anymore and he doesn't want to be here anymore. Unless I'm misreading things. Dove Autoglass says, what's your favorite play of the entire game? P.S. Please don't call me Dave's. Thank you. Dove Autoglass. Sorry, man. I almost did it. Favorite play of the game? I mean, maybe when they forced that intentional grounding at the end of the first half. That was so huge. It was the difference in the game for a long time. All day, every day, Kim says, is it official yet? Quarterback controversy. I mean, I guess Brock needs to get healthy and take his job back because it seems like he's going to be gone a while. Daz says, Niners veterans speak quite highly of Mac. What do you think happens if the team goes on a run with Mac and Brock eventually is healthy? How does the locker room react? I mean, while Mac's on this heater, I think Brock's going to sit out. You really think Brock's going to come back next week and put Mac on the bench so he can face the Texans? The Texans have a better defense than Atlanta. I don't think we're going to see Brock next week. I think this is Mac's time. Harvey Dent says Mac is elite. He has a natty. You saw the arm today. Scoozy says ATL #1 pass defense. Mac did okay. Shanny's play call was running. It worked. CMC looked vintage. Was solid. We can do anything. Did he look vintage? I'll give him that. Richard Evangelista says, are you okay, Grant? Did you forget your razor? Looking kind of rough, Chief. All right, I'm going to talk about my new look in a minute, all right? Thanks for noticing, though. Sing it, Return to the Mac. Whoa, I'm on it. Ooh, yeah. That wasn't that good. I kind of went falsetto there. Sometimes you got to go falsetto in life. Goobertown9 says, I was at the game, had a blast. CMC went off, and I don't know what is up with D-Rob. Wasn't he pretty good in camp? This is a funny team to watch, man. I agree. Colonial Lee 50 says there was something in the air that night. The stars were bright. Garendo. Sean Shepard says they run Juice to tell the other coach he's poop. The young Montana been a member for 49 months. Thank you. J Figs Ramon. Are you high on Bethune or low on Juice? Very high on Bethune. I am tripping balls on Bethune right now. Joe says this team is the inverse of the 2021 team, unpredictable in the best way, and this team would probably only lose to that Super Bowl. And this team would probably only lose that Super Bowl by 10 or so. It's a fun team.